Welcome to The Innovator, where we take an in-depth look at accountable innovation in higher education with college and university presidents committed to student success. I'm your host, Wesley Smith, and I serve as the Executive Director at the President's Forum, where we're dedicated to the reinvention of higher education. Our guest today is Miami Dade College President Madeline Pumariega. President Pumariega is the first woman to lead Miami Dade College, which is one of the largest institutions of higher education in the United States. Adding to the historic nature of this appointment is the fact that she attended Miami Dade College as a student. So today we're going to talk to her a little bit about her history in being a trailblazer and becoming the president of Miami Dade College. And we're going to talk to her about her priorities at Miami Dade and where Miami Dade College is going right now, and especially about how she is addressing future workforce issues. Let's go straight to that conversation. It's really great to see you today, President Pumariega. Thanks for joining us, and welcome to the President's Forum.
Happy to be on. Thanks, Wes.
Well, today we just want to do a quick intro video to you as a president, as well as help everybody come to better understand Miami Dade College as an institution and what you're all about. So, we just want to start out big picture. Can you tell us a little bit about your path to your current position?
Well, for me, it started at Miami Dade College. I started at then Miami Dade Community College as a basketball player. I came to the college as first-gen women's basketball player on a scholarship. So that for me identifies a lot of my own leadership style and my own journey when I think about it from our student perspective and just from the impact of Miami Dade College. Like many of our students, you transfer out of your community college and you head to a university and then find your way back. And I did, and then came back to work at Miami Dade College as an assistant women's basketball coach and a part-time academic advisor. And that again identifies a lot with our college because so many at Miami Dade College started as a student and then started as a part-time employee. And they hope that one day they get that full-time job. And I did and became an academic advisor and then went on to be a dean and a campus president at Miami Dade College. And that kind of ended a 20-year tour of duty at Miami Dade College on the first tour. And then I left to run a nonprofit organization that helped break the cycle of poverty throughout the entire state of Florida called Take Stock in Children. And I was happy doing God's work there. Talk about the impact of Take Stock is just tremendous. I then became the first Hispanic female chancellor of the Florida college system. So, and in that role, I oversaw the 28 Florida state colleges, including Miami-Dade College, from the southern tip of the state to, the northern tip of Florida. And in that role, serving 800,000 students and reformed developmental education, brought in performance funding, along with college affordability and access. And then I went to Tallahassee Community College as executive vice president and provost. And that really, I think, anchored the academy, the importance of the academy in that role. And then got to come back to Miami and to Miami Dade College as the first female president and the fifth president of Miami Dade College.
That's a really unique journey for a lot of different reasons, but I don't know many presidents who actually, they attended the institution that they're the president of at a community college level, and then they return back as the college president. That's pretty unique.
Yeah, I think so, but I think it's special. It's special to be able to come back and serve. And I think that's what makes it unique, like, as you said, because I know the institution, not only from the student perspective, but just across, right? And from whether it's the pain point of someone on our team, I know it because I've been in one of their roles, and how do we look at it and improve on it? And that's why when I got here, and we worked on developing the college's 5 strategic priorities. The first was how to reimagine the student experience. How do we make sure that the experience, the students are having with Miami-Dade College are a little different? When I was here, we stood in a long line with a punch card, right? And today students are going to want to experience the college in an entirely different way.
Right.
But foundational to the 63-year history of Miami-Dade College is academic excellence and innovation. How do we keep reinventing and innovating in the spirit of academic excellence? We launched the culture of care, make sure that within our institution, we were caring about each other and we were caring about our students. Something that I'm incredibly proud of is we're the workforce engine of this community, and that's because our programs are aligned to the future of work and to workforce. And the
So,
last was securing our future. And that was, I think, really a priority because we had seen the COVID decline of enrollment and we had seen the national trend of declining enrollments. And how could we develop a real strategic priority around enrollment management that included not only attracting and recruiting students, retaining them and reclaiming students who had left us to come back and finish that degree.
right. Okay. All right. So, I mean, that's a lot that's on your plate as the president, and you're focusing on that. I want to drill into something that's really interesting, I think, to forum institutions generally, but that is serving underserved populations and how you do it. And I think that you have a really unique story to tell and some significant success in serving underserved students. Can you tell us a little bit about that experience and what you're doing that might be a model for others to look at when they're looking to when they're they undertake this idea of finding communities that have traditionally not succeeded in higher education. They haven't had access to higher education. There are other reasons that they have been hampered in their higher education pursuit. What should they know that you know and that you're doing?
I think Miami-Dade's been a leader, since we opened our doors in 1960. If you think about Miami-Dade County in 1960, you know that our college at the core is about democracy's college, about serving those who typically wouldn't be on a path to higher education. And so today we still have, nearly 60% of our students are first in their families to attend college. 75% of our students are Hispanic. 18% of our students are Black, and they mirror our community. And so, the things that we do that work and have been effective, is one, how we do our outreach efforts in our community, thinking, about growing our students, not necessarily weeding them out, right? But going to meet them where they're at and where their families are. And we do that through a real strategic emphasis on dual enrollment and early college program opportunities. You have to see yourself to believe that you can be here. I think that when students come to Miami-Dade College, we've assigned them an academic advisor that's going to stay with them throughout their career. We're developing the academic pathway. I'm really proud of the scholarship programs that we've launched. We've always had rigorous, strong scholarship programs, but we've recently launched presidential scholars, rising scholars, and built a partnership with Miami-Dade County for future ready scholars, which are, any student in our community that graduates high school and private or public can come to Miami-Dade College to earn their associates. And I think those are important aspects of how we make sure that students in our community know that college is for them and that they have a place right here at Miami-Dade College. And then when they arrive here, the kind of academic support that they're going to need. If they're in the honors college, they're getting, and they're presidential scholars, they're getting opportunities for undergraduate research, opportunities to be in leadership roles. But if they're coming to us and sometimes they're not sure what they're going to do, we've built stackable credentials so that they might earn first that college credit certificate that leads to the associates and on to the bachelor's. And I think what's most important for institutions looking towards our work. It's that we're intentional. We're intentional about the way that we support students, from recruiting them to keeping them here, and how we support them when they graduate.
So you have two really great background experiences that I would love you to share a little bit more about. Number one, how does your work in the nonprofit world and fighting poverty impact the way that you're a president? And then the second one is, how does your sports background impact how you approach this? And that can be with underserved populations in those experiences, as well as just your general approach to higher education.
I firmly believe that it's through the power of education that you can transform a generation, in a family, right? It's that first college degree that then just provides that ripple for the family. So my work, not only at Miami Dade College as an advisor and a dean and a campus president, but especially firsthand, with Take Stock and meeting families, who were trying to break that cycle of poverty, that it's not just providing a scholarship. I think that there are a couple of things. Number one, the expectations for students, that they can come to college, that they have a set of expectations that they believe in. I think supporting and nurturing the family, that the family knows what kind of support they can provide and what information they need to know, to help provide that support. The third aspect of it is, how do you find a caring adult in the child's life? And that can be a mentor and it can be a teacher. So how do we build that village around? And then how do you remove the financial barrier? And so if you really want to be transformative, it takes all those parts to get to the finish line, not just say, here's a scholarship and figure it out, but how you lead up to that support. And I think that I approach our work in that same way. And as a student athlete, I think playing basketball really shapes my leadership style. For one, the obvious, working in a team. Basketball is a team sport without a shadow of a doubt. But secondly, I think the rapidness of basketball. I love football, but you call a play, it happens or doesn't. You come back to the huddle and you call the next play. In basketball, you have the best play laid out, and something happens, one-on-one coverage or something, and you've got to improvise quickly. You got to be nimble, and you still got to get to the goal, which is to score. And I think that's true for community colleges in our country. We have to be nimble enough. We have to be responsive enough. And when you are with first gen students, you got to make sure that they know they're part of the team and that our goal is their goal, which is to get them to finish.
So great lead in. You have to be nimble, and a big part of the goal of education. I mean, when I say a big part, I think it's the most important part by a long shot. That is preparing students to have a future economically, to be able to provide for themselves and for their families, and that takes nimbleness. We have to be able to inject skills into the workforce in a way that is beneficial to the workforce, and you can't be working to create a workforce that's a decade old. It has to be looking towards the future. So how do you approach workforce issues at Miami Dade College? What are the things that you're doing right now to prepare students to be able to provide for their families?
I think the first is aligning our workforce programs to the need, right? So the first thing is, when you think about healthcare and nursing, we saw, even before the pandemic, but certainly post it, the need for more nurses. So once you have that need, I think you build the partnerships, because there's a coalition of the educational provider and who's employing our students. And I think working together. And so every one of our workforce programs has an advisory board that's made up of industry experts that's helping shape our curriculum. And that's how you make sure you have curriculum alignment. And so we've done that in healthcare. We've been addressing the teacher pipeline. Hard to read an article that doesn't talk about the teacher shortage. And so we created innovative programs. We found that students in their last semester of becoming a teacher, you have to, in a sense, leave your job and for the last semester be inside a school. Well, for many, they can't do that. So we've created a residency program that allows teachers to get hired by the school district for that last semester and have a teacher that they're assigned to, but they get to earn while they're learning that last semester. And then on the tech space, we've really created a tech talent coalition, which is a set of industry experts in tech and developing not only cybersecurity, cloud computing pathways, but we've built college credit certificates, associate and a bachelor's program in artificial intelligence. And on top of that, we've made sure that artificial intelligence is across disciplines, not just a major. And we've done that by having 500 of our faculty go through artificial intelligence training and workshops.
That's amazing that you're on the front end of that innovation. And it also sounds like it's very strategic in where workforce gaps exist in healthcare, in teaching. I know we have huge teacher shortages, as well as in technology where, I think the future is really, really bright. So how have you determined, clearly that's gone into your preparations for workforce development. Are there any other areas that you're looking at that you're saying, hey, this is the future and we need to be addressing these issues?
I think in a knowledge economy and a skills economy, it's kind of de-skilling the syllabus. It really, whether it's trade and logistics, we felt that pressure with trade and logistics and creating micro credentials and pathways in trade and logistics. And those are going to be a little bit different than maybe a student going into just business administration and finance. And I think that the path forward in a skills economy is a series of micro credentials that help us level up and skill up. And at the college, we really think about 3 distinctive skill sets that students should leave with. One is the academic skills, those foundational skills. The second is the future-proof skills, affectionately called soft skills. Design thinking, dependability, and communication. But I think the future of work is going to require students, regardless of their industry, to have a set of digital skills. And those are going to be those artificial intelligence skills, technology skills, cybersecurity skills. And so approaching it in a multidisciplinary and cross-disciplinary ways are really things that we're thinking about in the future of work and in an economy that's pointing towards the knowledge economy balanced with a trades economy, and also launching our Construction Trades Institute as well.
Right. Well, hey, this has been a fantastic introduction to the work that you're doing and the leader that you are at Miami Dade College. We appreciate you joining, and more importantly, we're excited that you're part of the forum. And we're looking forward to our May meetings in Washington, D.C. There are just so many agenda items that overlap with our discussion today that I think we can make some serious progress working together as a forum to address these issues.
Very proud to be part of the forum, and I really look forward to the thought leadership and partnership that we'll have in forging the future of education in our country.
My thanks to President Pumariega for joining us today. And remember, you can subscribe to our podcast on YouTube for a full video version, or for the audio version, you can subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. You should also sign up for our newsletter at presidentsforum.org. Thanks for joining us today. We look forward to having you in our next episode where we discuss innovation in higher education.